Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm gonna be creating a bronzy eye look. Going to be testing out some newer products to me and some products that I've been using for a while. Let's go ahead and get started. So I always like to prime my face first. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my face using the Secure the Blur primer. You do get 35 milliliters or 1.2 fluid ounces. And it says this is a makeup magnet primer base. It's an ultra blurring pore refining primer with niacinamide that mattifies and evens out texture as it grips makeup for flawless application and enhanced wear. It does come in like a squeezy tube. I'm not really too picky with packaging, but it is a thicker primer. And it is like cooling. So I don't really feel any gripping. It definitely just like dries down. My face doesn't feel like too matte or anything, but it did take away the shine to my skin and it just looks flawless. Normally I already have my brows filled in, but I don't today. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my brows. There's not really much I have to do with them since I just waxed them like a few days ago. Y'all know that the Morphe micro brow pencil and the Benefit Precisely My Brow are like my holy grail brow products. I just love the fine tip and I just like how it glides on and it doesn't pull my brows like the Anastasia one. The Anastasia one is definitely more waxy and I don't enjoy that formula. Today I have the Lip Bar Brow Pencil. It is a 2-in-1 brow gel and pencil. It's vegan and cruelty free. So one side has the pencil and it's similar to like the Benefit Goof Proof. It has like that triangle shape, or similar to like the ABH brow definer. Normally I don't really go for applicators like that, and then you screw the bottom and it is the gel, which is tinted. I'm not sure what shade I purchased, but it had to have been like a brown or something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my brows. And you definitely need a light hand with this, light pressure, because it definitely just glides on. The only thing is that I wish it was a spoolie and not like a brow gel, because I definitely don't really use brow gels like that. But I'm just gonna be taking a spoolie just to soften my brows. I do like that this is more of a brown shade. I've been liking more brown brows, especially with my hair, you know, it's a new look. So I don't want to go like super dark. And I'm just going to clean them up and then we'll get into the eyes. So I've already primed my eyes using the Anastasia eye primer. And then I just set that with the Patrick Star translucent powder. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Natasha Denona bronze palette. This is what it looks like. So it's super beautiful. It retails for $65, but the formula on this is just so smooth. So to start off, I'm gonna take Ridge, which is this shade right here. And this palette does have a lot of fallout. The formula though is just so smoothing and buttery. So I mean, I'm not mad at that. I prefer the pigment. As you can see, that is beautiful. These shades definitely go on darker than what they look, which I'm not mad at. And it definitely blends out nice. And the brush I was using to blend out that transition shade is the R38 from Morphe. Next, I'm going to be taking the M433 and I am going to go into Suntan. And with this, I'm going to be doing a halo eye, which I normally don't do. That's just not usually the move, but you got to switch it up sometimes. So I'm just going to be placing that suntan color on the outer V area and also the inner corner. And I'm just using tapping motions to blend it out. And as you can see, it pretty much blends itself out. That's why I really enjoy this formula. And it definitely layers really nice, so you don't have to like build on it too much like with the Morphe shadows. I will say the 35G is very similar to this at a lower price point, but the formula is definitely different. So it's not, you're gonna spend more time blending and building those shades than you are with this one. And I'm kind of leaving the middle open. That is what we're looking like so far. The only thing about this palette is like I wish there was like a dark brown. It does have like this black, almost black, and I just don't really go that smoky. The darkest I ever use is like a dark brown. Using my Morphe M506, I'm going to dip into Deep Dive, tap off the excess because like I said, I don't want it to be like too dark. And we are just going, and I'm just going to slowly build up the depth. And I do like how this palette gives you like control to just blend and layer. And I'm definitely keeping this shade lower, so you don't want to blend it up too high. And I'm still doing those tapping motions, just tapping it in place, going in like a V shape for both areas, inner and outer. I'm just gonna go back into Suntan just to blend that out so we don't lose that color. And I'm going to dip back into Ridge and just blend out the edges, just because you want a seamless blend. Where we have that open space, you could either use concealer and tap a little bit to make the shimmer shade pop, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna dip into True Copper right here, and it's like an orangey bronze color. And I am going to tap that in the center and blend it on the edges. And the shimmers in here are just so amazing. They definitely just look wet. I'm going to take my finger and I'm gonna dip into Silk right here, which is the lightest shade. And I'm gonna tap that right in the middle, just for dimension, just to brighten it up. And then I'm gonna be taking that brush with Suntan, just a little bit, and just blend so there's no harsh edges between Deep Dive and the shimmer shades. For lashes, lately I've been loving these lashes from the Balm Extensions on Instagram. I was introduced into the brand by Tanisha Sankar here on YouTube. So lately I've been wearing the style Jordy, and this is like their old packaging, so they did like kind of do a revamp. And this lash brand is based here in Texas, Houston based. I'm not in Houston, but because I live in Texas, like I get my lashes fairly fast. But this is the new packaging. It just says Balm Extensions, and then they do have their website on the back. They are very affordable. So this is in the style Lori, which is very similar to Jordy, but Jordy is just like a little bit more wispier, like more fluffy. But I'm gonna try Lori, and it does have the name on the side, just like right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these on. This is my first time trying this lash, so I hope I really like them because I love Jordy. And like I said, this lash was like $5. They're always having sales. They're very like affordable. So yeah, I'm gonna go pop these on. So lashes are on, and these are definitely more spiky. I usually don't go for like pointy lashes, but they still look cute. I do like Jordy a little bit better just because it's a little bit more fluffy, a little bit more wispy, but these are still real cute. I'm gonna go ahead and color correct these bags and around my mustache area. You already know, LA girl, okay? This is like $4.99, I think. It used to be like $2.99. But I get all of my makeup from like Ulta. So I'm going to color correct. Now that my color corrector is blended out, I'm gonna be taking my One Size powder. I have translucent, and I'm just going to set my face before foundation, focusing this on my T-zone. But usually when brands, I'm hoping that the primer and powder together will help my makeup last all day, because as it's starting to get warmer here in Texas, the weather's been like super bipolar. Some days it's like 80, and then days like today it's like 63. So I'm like a very oily girl, so I just want it to last all day. And that looks very smoothing with the powder on top of the primer. So for foundation, I'm gonna be throwing it back to the Too Faced Born This Way matte foundation in Chey, and just dot it on. Lately, I've been liking blending out my foundation with a brush. It's just fuller coverage, and then because I'm oily, my makeup actually lasts longer, because with the sponge, with the water, like it just makes me more oilier faster. So I'm just going to be taking my Morphe G36, stipple that on, so just tapping motions. For concealer, as you can tell, this foundation is just like a little like orangey dark or whatever. I don't really care if my foundation is a little bit dark because I do highlight. So I'm going to be using the Kylie Cosmetics concealer in Granola. And I am just going to pop a little bit right here. I want to keep it, and on the sides of my nose, I want to keep it pretty like tight right here. And then I'm going to be taking the same Kylie Cosmetics concealer, but this is in the shade Clove, and I'm going to be using this to like cream bronze. So I'm just going to take that here. And this is definitely more of like a red undertone, which is what I want. I haven't really been into like contouring, just like bronzing, because I want it to look natural. I don't want to look like drag. Take a little bit on the sides of my nose, just where those two meet. Go a little bit on the jawline. Y'all know I got that double chin going on. I actually lost 10 pounds, so I'm always here for that. I'm gonna go ahead and blend out that cream bronzer slash contour, and I'm gonna be taking the Real Techniques Instapot cheek brush. I love how it's just angled, and this reminds me of that Morphe foundation brush that came out with Makeup Shayla. This is very similar, so if you didn't want to pay for that, this is really good. And you can also use this as a foundation brush as well, but I prefer like angled stuff like this for like contour. So I'm looking very bronzed. So I'm gonna just take the bottom of that and just blend so everything looks seamless. Because like I said, I kind of want this to look natural, but I also want to look just bronze goddess, and I want to look like I'm going on vacation or that I just came back from vacation. So even though I'm not going anywhere, this is just the vibe. Instead of blending here, I'm gonna blend out the edges first. And now I'm going to blend in that inner part. So as you can see, everything is blended out and it looks bomb. It's definitely giving me the Kevin Luong makeup style, and I have been loving his work on Instagram. But yeah, super bronzy, just flawless. So just to set all those highlighted areas, I'm going to be taking the Laura Mercier Honey. Have not really tried this out, and that is what the translucent honey looks like. It's definitely like a yellow. I'm gonna blend first, and that's how yellow it is, and I'm gonna tap off the excess and tap it in. Ooh, that looks so pretty. So I don't really feel like it gives me brightness, but it definitely just sets. And I'm gonna just set my whole face. I'm gonna be using the Fenty Pro Filter Powder Foundation, and this is in 410, and it looks like that. And I'm gonna be using my Morphe E1 just to blend that with my contour. So onto bronzer. I'm gonna be taking the Jaclyn Hill Blush and Bronzer Duo in Hot Lava and Cocoa Rich. And these are the shades. So I'm gonna go into Cocoa Rich. I'm gonna be using my Morphe E4 just to warm up the face. And that is definitely bronzing up the skin, even though I know I did cream bronze. This just, you can tell the difference. It definitely pops more. I just love the way that this blends. And I'm just going to do my nose contour using the Morphe Zero. This is from the Brittany Bear nose contour, and it's just like really fluffy. So it's gonna give me a softer blend. And I'm just gonna be using that same bronzer and just going along the sides. I'm just going to take the Morphe M403 and I'm going to dip this into Hot Lava. This is a very pigmented blush, so definitely tap off the excess. And this just gives a nice flush of color. Definitely hot girl summer vibes. That is super easy to use, blends really nice. You only need a light hand. I'm gonna go take my powder brush, dust off that excess powder off my nose. Normally I don't really do like lower lash shadow, but you know, I'm feeling a little bronzy, smoky vibe going. I'm gonna start off with Ridge and bring that underneath my eyes, really using this to like hide my bags, my under eye creases. And next I'm going to be taking this Morphe M512. It came in the James Charles brush set, and it's just like a fluffy shader brush, and I'm going to be dipping into Suntan and just adding that close to the lower lash line, building up the depth. So for my waterline, I'm going to be taking this black gel liner pencil from LA Girl. This is super creamy. I'm not sure if it's going to last if you have like super runny eyes. But the formula is similar to the Bad Girl Bang Liner from Benefit, but that one's waterproof. So if you have more sensitive eyes, I would definitely recommend that one. But I'm just going to be taking this and putting it in my waterline. You could also do like a nude in your waterline to really open your eyes. And just to set that liner in place, I'm going to be taking that same flat shader brush, the M152. I'm just going to take a little bit of deep dive and tap that against the lower lash line. And as you can tell, that's like smokier, but it's not like super smoky, but it's doing what I want it to do. Now I'm gonna be taking that Lip Bar Brow Gel and I'm just going to run that through my brows just to hold them in place. And the wand is super thin. It's like real tiny. So for highlighter, I have the Anastasia Iced Out, and at first I wasn't gonna get this, but when I saw it, my coworker actually talked me into it, even though she knows I don't need any highlighters. I was able to see this. It definitely has like that white gold look, and I'm really not into like super gold highlighters. It's just not for me. But I'm gonna swatch it. The imprint is really nice. I was really hoping that the formula would be similar to the Amrezy highlighter, but it's definitely not. But that is what it looks like. It's definitely giving me Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife. So I don't know how often I will reach for this because like I said, I don't really like super gold highlighters. But for this look, since it's all about the bronze and everything like that, I feel like this would be perfect for this look. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little on my nose, tip of my nose, a little on the bridge. And as you can see, that is gold. Super gold. Definitely not the shade I go for. But I'm gonna be taking the Morphe M501. I really do like the Artist Couture highlight brush for highlighting. But I'm gonna add that onto the cheekbones. And I like my highlighter a little bit brighter than this, so I'm going to be taking the Artist Couture Hot Damn. This is the Diamond Luxe Luminizer. I love this formula. It's definitely smoothing, super soft to the touch. And that is Hot Damn, so it's definitely like that more champagne color that I go for. But it's also good to layer with others. And I just love the imprint on this. Like, it's so beautiful. These are definitely underrated. This is just so good. And I'm just going to top that right here. Ooh. See, that just like amped it up. And I'm gonna add a little brow bone highlight, and I'm just gonna be taking the Morphe E18, which is like a eye smudger, but I never use those for that. And I'm just going to do my brow bone highlight. And I normally don't do this, but I'm going to add a little inner corner with that color. Just because when I think of like summertime and bronzy makeup, I think very just glowy. So, you know, you just need all the highlighter, and I'm definitely all about it. For lips, I I would use my Morphe bar, but you know, Morphe is playing games with my emotions and it's not on their website whenever I try to order it. So I'm gonna be using Trendsetter. And I'm going to line my lips with that. I'm gonna fill in the inner corners just a little bit, just because I want that pouty look to my lips. As if, you know, I really didn't need that, you know. My lips are pretty pouty for the most part, but I like to enhance that, you know, and blend. For lips, I'm going to be taking Juvia's Place in Libra. And this is what this is serving, giving hello face. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.